was a group of 3 girls who went to high school together. They were all best friends, and one night during the summer holidays, they decided to have a sleepover party. So they spent all day long planning their sleepover, and because they were all horror fans, they decided that they wanted to go and rent a horror movie. It was late at night when the 3 girls piled into a car and drove down to their local video rental store, but it was closed. So the girls spent the next half hour driving around trying to find another place that they could rent a movie. Eventually, they found a little shop that was located in a side street and went inside. Now, the girls were not able to all agree on a movie to rent, so one of the girls went to the lady behind the counter and asked if she had any suggestions for them. The woman told her that she had just the thing for them and disappeared into a back room. Now, while they were waiting, one of the girls saw a videotape just sitting by itself on the counter. It didn't have a box cover or a label, and it seemed to be very dirty and stained. She was curious to see what it was, so she reached over and picked it up. Just then, the woman came rushing out from the back room, grabbed the tape from the girl's hand, and with a very strange smile on her face, she said,
"That's not something you girls should be watching."
When they asked her what it was, she told the girls that they should not be touching it and that it was a home movie. Then she handed them an old horror film and told them it would be a much better movie for them to watch. So they all agreed, and right before they left the store, one of the girls took the opportunity to sneakily grab the tape from the counter and put it into her purse. Later that night, when the girls all returned home, that girl took it out of her purse and said, "Hey, look what I stole. We should watch it." They put the tape in the video recorder and pressed play. All of a sudden, the power went out and the room was plunged into darkness. However, the television was still on. There was a loud crackle of static, and then the movie started to play. On the screen, they saw this woman, and she was surrounded by a bunch of angry men. They were yelling at her and carrying these burning torches. It looked to be some sort of witch trial from the 1600s, and suddenly the men set a huge fire underneath her. The woman began laughing maniacally, but the men kept yelling things at her like,
"She's a witch! Burn her!"
As the flames rose higher and higher, she said that all who witness her death will suffer the same fate in 2 days' time. Then there was a screech of static and the VCR stopped playing. The terrified girls sat in the dark for a long time until the power came back on. Now, they tried to all convince each other that it must have been some sort of prank, but after a while they agreed that they should probably return the tape immediately. When they arrived at the location of the video store, it was gone. All they found was an abandoned building and an empty parking lot. 2 days later, all of the girls that were at this sleepover perished, and the police that were investigating their deaths said it was incredibly mysterious, especially because all 3 deaths had been caused by a fire.